In furtherance to President Muhammadu Buhari's quest to impact positively the lives of the less privileged in the society, the Honorable Minister of Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Saidia Umar Farouk, arrived Maiduguri, Borno State as a special guest of honor at the commissioning of multiple projects by the Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, a parastater under the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Thanks to the Executive Governor, Professor
The multiple event, which held on the 2nd of September 2021, was also graced by the Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Talin, and Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Wajuba. These projects include the formal handover of Mgwom Mass Housing Unit, flag-off of distribution of food and non-food items, commissioning of Bond Center at University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of 300-seater auditorium at the Center for the Study of Violent Extremism at University of Maiduguri, and the graduation ceremony of Batch B of the NEDC ICT training program. The Honorable Minister Saidia Umar Farouk, while speaking at the event, assured the audience of the President Muhammadu Buhari's determination to ending the crisis and bringing succor to affected communities in the country.
His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, has shown the political will and clear commitment in addressing the issues of food insecurity and malnutrition by initiating the National Poverty Reduction and Growth Strategy, the Council, which is being chaired by His Excellency the Vice President. And this strategy specifically aims to address hunger, malnutrition, and poverty through economic growth and social protection programs. And furthermore, the federal government, under the leadership of His Excellency Mr. President, is focused on promoting local production, providing loans to farmers, and skills acquisition to enhance socio-economic capacities. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to mention that the National Social Investment Programs has many such clusters that are geared towards achieving these objectives. One of which is the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, which provides micro-interest-free loans that targets smallholder farmers, traders, enterprise youth, and women to support the poverty alleviation strategy of the federal government at the grassroots level.
Responding, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, commended the efforts of the federal government through the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. He pledged his continued support to the programs of the federal government towards the people of Borno State.
Let me commend the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs for facilitating the adoption of the IDP policy by the Federal Executive Council yesterday. Inshallah, very soon, the Western Cape policy and will work closely with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to build to ensuring promotion of these noble objectives of supporting the internally displaced persons. Today, we are witnessing yet another support in the streets of many that are underscored by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. This is no doubt a manifestation, the zeal and commitment of Mr. President, the government and people of Borno State. You may recall interventions approved by President for cost release of food items by the Nigerian Customs Service and the Northeast Development Commission to support these pledged classes. We remain appreciative of the President and Commander of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari.
The Managing Director, Northeast Development Commission, Mohammed Al-Khali, rolled out the achievements of the Commission thus far at the event and commends the Honourable Minister Sadiya Umar Farouk for her doggedness at ensuring timely delivery of projects.
Your Excellency, the Honourable Minister, as you may recall, Mr. President earlier in 2019 approved a special presidential intervention in Borno State to ameliorate the desperate situation that displaced community in the state had found themselves through the construction of 10,000 houses and establishment of technical and vocational skill application centers for the IDPs, among others. As part of the execution of this special intervention, it was resolved that the Commission undertakes the construction of the first 1,000 houses from its own resources and fund equipment of technical and vocational skill centers around the state at an estimated cost of 2 billion naira. Today, I am glad to mention that the construction of the 1,000 houses and more site has virtually completed, and contract for the equipment of the vocational and technical skill centers have been awarded in our area. Your Excellencies, Honourable Ministers, distinguished guests, the 1,000 houses we are about to hand over today consists of blocks of 4 units of 2-bedroom bungalows, verandas, and courtyard in a close arrangement. Each block sits on 400 square meters with perimeter fence and ample space for other home activities.
The Minister of Women Affairs, in her goodwill message, commends the efforts of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development.
When you go to any IDP camp, the greatest majority, over 75% to 80%, are women and children. And that's why I have no choice but to be here to join.
The Honourable Minister Dame Pauline Tallen further said, women and children are worst affected in any crisis, and that's the more reason she is by her sister supporting her numerous programs targeted at the plight of the vulnerable.
I call on all the people of the Northeast, particularly the people of Borno, to give the governor the necessary support he deserves, especially prayers.
From commissioning of the 1,000 housing units with all the provisions of rights.
The Chairman, Northeast Development Commission, Major General Paul Tafa, retired, expressed excitement at the completion of the 1,000 housing unit as it gives hope to people of the region. He further thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for this laudable initiative. The UN Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, Edward Kalon, says he can see the light at the end of the tunnel with the intervention of the federal government through the Northeast Development Commission, and commends the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Sadiya Umar Farouk, for the numerous programs targeted at restoring the dignity of life for the people of the Northeast and Nigerians in general.
Years have rolled back, and I'm so happy as I count down to my long 5 years, just a few months ago, I can see light at the end of the tunnel. What we are seeing here today is what I have described in my memoirs I've been writing. That is an improvement in national leadership and ownership.
After goodwill messages by dignitaries that graced the occasion, certificates were now presented to graduates of the Batch B NEDC ICT training program, who also received startup packs to enable them start their businesses.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Women Affairs. Now to Ibrahim Mohamed Bashir, who is also in graphic design. Ibrahim Mohamed Bashir is here around. Where is Abdulaziz Mohamed Bashir? Thank you, Honorable Minister. You may kindly resume your seat, please.
It was now time to perform the next stage of the numerous programs of the day. The Minister of Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, officially hands over the 1,000 housing unit project at Ngom for IDPs in Borno State to the Executive Governor, His Excellency Professor Babagana Zulum, for onward allocation to the vulnerable and IDPs in the state.
On behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, I hereby hand over this facility of the 1,000 housing unit houses, access roads, solar-powered street lights, solar-powered boreholes, matriculated for economic trees planted, 3,000 pieces, stores, shops to be rehabilitated, future provisions for market, clinic, school, water park, police station, and communal center. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, for the onward handing over to our internally displaced persons in the state. Thank you very much.
The Governor, in reception of the housing units, gave this assurance to the federal government.
Let me assure you that Government of Borno State will ensure adequate utilization of these resources that is being handed over to us. Under no circumstances, a unit of this estate should be given to somebody that doesn't deserve to have. This is very important. Yesterday, we profiled about 700 widows and vulnerable to benefit from this scheme. And I assure you that since they are alone, each and every one of them should have one rooms. So the 700 of them shall be allocated with about 350 of these houses. We remain eternally grateful to you, and we wish to partner to you. On behalf of the government and people of Borno State, we want to express our sincere appreciation to the federal government and indeed the ministry and the Northeast Development Commission for this very important contribution. We shall continue to partner with you so as to bring support to our people. Thank you very much.
And on behalf of His Excellency, President Muhammad Buhari, I hereby commission this 1,000 housing units and all the facilities therein for the handing over of this facility to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Umar Zulum, for onward handing over to our internally displaced persons who deserve this facility. Thank you.
It is now time to unveil the flag for these houses. Unveiling of the flag. Unveiling of the flag.
This flag commemorates the handing over of Ngom 1,000 mass housing units constructed by the Northeast Development Commission to the Borno State government and unveiled by my humble self and His Excellency the Executive Governor.
The Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, presented an occupant card to the first beneficiary of the Ngom housing project at a commissioning event. Some other beneficiaries were also given the occupant's card at the event, a process that the state government will continue until all the houses are located to to the right beneficiaries.
And I invite the chairman, Senator. Thank you, distinguished Senator. Can I now invite Thank you, MD.
Some of the beneficiaries of the 1,000 housing units in Borno State expressed gratitude to the government.
IDP come sometime and go there.
The Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, also provided items that will help the beneficiaries settle in their new homes. The Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, a parastater under the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, handed over food and non-food items to the government of Borno State, which will be distributed to the vulnerable in the state.
Complying with that, on behalf of the Board and Management of the Northeast Development Commission, this is my simple honor, Honorable Minister Amar. Thank you very much. Yes, Your Excellency, these are still rights for coming. Yes, all around.
The Minister of Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, commissions the Trauma and Burn Center constructed by the Northeast Development Commission at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, Borno State.
Yes. No, and in between the two blocks.
The Honourable Minister Sadia Umar Farouk also performed the foundation laying ceremony for the construction of 300-seater auditorium at the Center for the Study of Violent Extremism at the University of Maiduguri.
The Northeast Development Commission team, ladies and gentlemen, we hereby have just done the groundbreaking for the auditorium of the University of Maiduguri on Violent Extremism Center. Thank you very much.
In continuation of the intervention projects of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, the Honourable Minister Sadia Umar Farouk on Friday, September 3, 2021, distributed feeding utensils to beneficiaries of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program at OGRA Primary School in Maiduguri.
We are here today to hand over feeding utensils to the Borno State government for the use of the benefiting pupils under the National Homegrown School Feeding Program. As we are all aware, the National Homegrown School Feeding Program is one of the 4 key interventions of the federal government under the National Social Investment Program, which seeks to boost school enrollment, nutrition, local economic activities across thousands of communities in our country. We are handing over these feeding utensils to you for the use of the pupils that the federal government of Nigeria feeds 1 nutritious meal daily. And these utensils are going to be distributed to all the primary schools, public primary schools that are in the program.
A representative of the pupils expressed gratitude to the federal government for the feeding program.
I'm Valentin Mohammed Kaleto, a member of Primary 3. I'm here to thank President Muhammad Buhari and Honorable Minister for school feeding program. We are sure of nutrition meal at least once every day. May Almighty Allah bless her abundantly. Thank you. Say Mama.
Following was a high-level engagement with the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Honorable Umar Usman Kadafut, on strengthening the implementation of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program.
This platform is also for us to seek your further support on strengthening the implementation of the National Social Investment Programs in general and the National Homegrown School Feeding Program in particular. As a collaborative effort, the federal government and the state governments have a shared responsibility and specific roles on the provision of these free meals to the children. On our own part, we provide the funds and the guidelines needed to drive the program, while the state government is responsible for the implementation.
These are programs that are very good for people, and especially coming up at a time that we really need such programs. And I want to assure you that on the implementation of some of your programs in the state, we'll try as much as possible to make sure that the government will cover, especially on the area of the capacity building you mentioned, and we will try as much as possible to sustain this installation program.
On the same day, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, unveiled a Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics STEM Center at the Federal Government College, Maiduguri.
This is an exercise that we're doing nationwide. We have about 218 of such.
At the Northeast Donor Flag-Off ceremony of the STEM project, the minister said that the center, which is one of the components of the National Social Investment Program, is a project strategically conceived to provide technical platforms that will aid modern teaching and learning on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to students in some carefully selected federal and state-owned science and technical secondary schools nationwide. A total of 218 of such schools located all over the 36 states and FCT are equipped with modern digital equipment in each center. The minister toured the facility accompanied by the Minister of State for Education, Mr. Emeka Wajuba, and other dignitaries. 5 other similar centers are located in Borno State. It was a fulfilling round of events for the government and the people of Northeast, as these humanitarian projects are geared towards alleviating years of devastation in the region. The Federal Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Service to Humanity.